Move over, Sega Bass Fishing, and, well, the fishing minigame every game ever has. It's time for some real fishing. Real fishing. Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia is a super unique game in that it's a game where fishing is the main thing, not a minigame, and it's not a simulator type of game. Oh, and it's a low-poly PS1 horror indie game somehow as well? Yeah, well, I say horror, but really that only crops up in the ending, so we'll put that on the back burner for now, but yeah, this is some good old Rootin' Tootin' fishing. Casting your line out into the deep blue to catch yourself some... cube? Yeah, this game has a lot of personality to it, and the variety of fish you can catch are a treasure trove of low-poly animals. Nudge nudge. The main gameplay loop hooks you by making you want to catch all these new kinds of fish, and gently eases you into the progression by starting you in shallow waters with easy to catch fish and pretty straightforward mechanics that make it hard to fail a catch at this stage. However, things won't stay that simple for long, as when you come back to your campsite at night, you find a mysterious person chilling on one of your logs, even though there's no way in or out of this game world. He just sits there, on your log, never sleeping, never leaving, has no name, and didn't even bring marshmallows to toast around the fire. You know what though, they got a backwards hat on, so they must be cool. Let's talk to them and find out. Oh, they just sell you fishing rods and lures. Cool. Oh, and they tell you cryptic stories about the impossible nature of this place and how people have gone missing here? Oh. Yeah, this merchant character is the only real source of dialogue in the game, and they really only dish out little tidbits that add to the atmosphere. There's no super direct story that progresses. This game is more about soaking in a sometimes eerie, sometimes calming atmosphere as you start getting lures and rods that allow you to fish deeper and deeper into the lake. This is when the gameplay starts to get some really fun nuance, where the tougher fish to catch require you to stop reeling when they're pulling really hard, so you have this tense ebb and flow to keep reeling them in. And because you're casting your line deeper and deeper, you have to keep up a perfect reel for longer and longer. However, there is a trick to make things a bit more lenient, where if you catch a fish's attention, technically you can bait it to follow your lure for a long time so that the actual reeling is really short. This does have the trade-off though that a fish you don't want could swoop in and snag your line instead on the way. It makes for a fishing system that really has more depth as you cast your line into more depth. Some of the most fun I had as I progressed through the game wasn't technically catching fish, but instead finding secret lures that were cleverly hidden around the map. I won't spoil any of the good hiding spots here, but dang, they managed to squeeze in some really clever secrets into such a small map. You know, speaking of that map, in all honesty, at first I felt the environment was a bit too homogeneous with all the copy-pasted trees and the restrictive wall of more copy-pasted trees fencing you in. However, as I eased into the game, I started to notice all these unique details and flourishes in the environment that weren't copy-pasted at all. There's this little flock of butterflies, the countless bits of sea foliage, and of course you've got the trippy feeling glowy cave that evokes such a sense of wonder. Even the parts of the environment I didn't really like at first eventually charmed me the more they started to remind me of the Ocarina of Time fishing area in the way it evokes an odd atmosphere by boxing you into this very video gamey kind of space. Watch Mara Ganger's awesome video about Lake Ophelia for more about that comparison. You know what, the text advancing sound effect sounding just like Ocarina of Time as well definitely helps sell that connection. Speaking of text, look at that text box, so aesthetically pleasing, and the way the text slowly advances, oh, that's some primo stuff. This UI design is incredible, and I especially love the claymation style stuff. Oh, and the menus, dude, the menus. If a restaurant had this menu, I'd order the menu itself for dinner. It's really in the details where this game shines, and the sound definitely exemplifies this too. The sound design here is spot on. I already mentioned the text box sound effects, but yeah, all the other sound effects absolutely slap. Well, they're not like actual slap sound effects, although I would love it if they patched in a GoldenEye style odd job mode where you slap fish to catch them. Stupid GoldenEye jokes aside, yeah, the N64 vibes are definitely there for sure. The nostalgic vibe of the music definitely helps bring that out too. You know, right off the bat, I was drawn in by the gameplay, character designs, and general aesthetics, but it was the music of Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia that made me fall hook, line, and sinker. I think what made the music so special was how sparingly it was used. Kind of like the effect the music in Eco has, where because most of the time you're just vibing to the atmospheric noise, when the music does kick in, you're in the right headspace to really feel it. Now, as I jammed out, I was of course catching more and more fish and getting closer and closer to reaching this mysterious crack at the bottom of the lake. Once you get the best lure, you can finally sink deep into the crack and trigger the ending, which I'll give a spoiler warning for here. So, that was weird. Yeah, the cute claymation trailer did not exactly prepare me for the microdose of nightmare fuel that this game's quite unorthodox ending had. Now, I did think the ending was definitely cool, but a little underwhelming in terms of adding substance to the story. And it's weird because on its own, there's really nothing wrong with it. It looks cool and functions well as just a visual reward for beating the game. However, I think I was kinda disappointed because of the expectations I had going in. The game was really fun and short and sweet, but the ending left me feeling a little deflated about the whole game and a bit less enthusiastic about the fun I had getting to the end, which is a shame. It's like when you drink a Capri Sun as a kid and it's this euphoric moment of bliss, but it's over pretty quick. So then you're like, oh, I know how to give this a proper ending. I'll blow it up and then suck it down for those last juicy drops. If you've done this before, you know this move never worked. But at least it was something, something neat to do after you were done, I guess. And I suppose that's how I felt about Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia. I blew up the expectations and sucked in a bit of, well, not very much. I think I got my expectations up because the game is called Mysteries Under Lake Ophelia, so I thought there would be some more, mysteries. Like there was this one mysterious thing that happened during the game, but at the end, the only mystery you get is some super vague horror imagery. And I suppose this could be interpreted to have many different meanings, but for me, I wish it was a little less vague and had some more explicit story to it because no particular meaning seemed to really stick with me. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the ending in general for its visuals, but yeah, I really wish there was more to latch onto story-wise. That's really the biggest critique I had of the game, and if you go in without the kind of expectations I did, then you probably won't have any problem with it. After all, even when I knew damn well that blowing up those Capri Suns didn't satisfy me, I still like to do it because it looked cool and was fun to do. Oh man, I hope this doesn't land me on a Respect the Pouch commercial. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and please do give this game a shot for yourself because the atmosphere, lo-fi visuals, and chill fishing gameplay make for a unique and memorable experience that really resonated with me. I love that indie creators like Bryce B are giving us games like this that have such strong singular visions that you can't find anywhere else. This is definitely a special game for sure, and for only $5, it's a real catch.